Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the books Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate, as well as Theta Waves Meditation. And I'll put links to my books below. This video is about why MBTI personality types are not hereditary. I've heard some people argue that you can predict the brain type or personality type of a child based on their biological parents. But if actually we look at how people behave in real life, it's clearly not the case. In fact, identical twins raised together are clearly different. I think that anyone who actually has interacted with these identical twins will tell you, no, this is not the same person. So if you have identical genetics and I put you in the same environment and you end up being totally different, and although you can have different personality types, it means that the likelihood that your biological parents will be like you is pretty slim. And actually, if we look in history, the greats, for example, if you look at, let's say, Jesus Christ or Buddha or any well-known spiritual leader, their parents were not enlightened. So how did they end up giving birth to a child like that? Or you might say, well, maybe if we look at their brothers and sisters, anyone who has interacted with different families will tell you, I cannot predict how this person is because their sister is, behaves a certain way or has a particular brain type. So in other words, something else is driving the narrative. And I would say that it's more likely to be something beyond genetics or even the environment that results in a person having a particular brain type, because based on my favorite spiritual teacher, David R. Hawkins, it's more like it has to do with the person's level of spiritual evolution. So our spiritual evolution is not linked to our biological parents or the environment, because the reason being is that if a person, for example, is enlightened, they will have certain ideas, worldview, even in terms of their knowledge that is similar to another one who's from a different century, so, or even a different ethnic group or culture. So in other words, there's something beyond that. Yes, we have to come into physical form, but who we are or our brain type is not the result of who raised us or who gave us our DNA. So in other words, this is something that is kind of controversial. People say, well, we have to either rely on nature, which is our biology or DNA, or our nurture to know who someone is going to be long term. But we have seen time and time again in history that it's not the case. You cannot say because I had these parents and they raised me a certain way, then I'm going to end up behaving or become a particular type of individual long term. So I would lean more towards what my favorite spiritual teacher, David R. Hawkins, actually proposed, has to do probably with reincarnation. So we're more like the individual we were in our past lives than the result of what is happening right now in our environment or who actually raised us. So this is a rather controversial topic, but I think that we need to investigate that, because time and time again, I think that people are trying to explain people's way of viewing the world and their behavior based on factors that really were not determining who they are. So about 90% of who a person is has to do with their spiritual evolution more than, again, their parents, their environment, or even the time in history. Yes, that has an impact, but not as much as people may believe, because again, identical twins raised together are clearly different. So let me know what you think about the content of this video by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.